a server, you'll quickly learn that black people are the most annoyingly entitled people you'll ever have to deal with. I used to work at Waffle House, and this same black lady came in every single day, and when I tell you she was the most entitled, broke person you'll ever meet, she would police the entire process. She came in there every day, got a sausage, egg, and cheese grit bowl. She wanted her eggs cooked like they were made at the house. She wanted her sausage burnt just the right type of way. She wanted the cheese melted just right. She wanted the grits to be the perfect consistency. When she walked in every day, I would have to show her the grits to make sure she agreed with how they were made. And she wouldn't just tell me what she wanted. She would sit on the high counter right next to the cook and police the entire process. As the cook is cooking and we're in a busy store, she's sitting there trying to tell him specific ways he needs to be flipping the eggs, telling him to hurry up and take off the sausage before it gets cooked too much. She would always rush me every day because she had to get to work. Like, I give a and it's like, I would be cool with all this if she ever tipped me anything. But no, nothing. She would be my most annoying customer of the day, and she never tipped me $1. No matter how nice I was, never $1. This is where I kind of started to be racist, I guess, when it comes to serving black people. I can't. I'm not going to treat y'all as good as I treat everyone else, because I know I'm going to get treated like, and y'all aren't going to tip me $1. Don't get me started on if a family of black people walked in. Oh my God, I would damn near start crying. I would ask every other server there, like, can y'all please serve this table? Please. I do not feel like it.
So black people have a reputation of notoriously being bad tippers. And so I'm just going to leave it blanket on the floor for anybody that wants to jump in. Well, I guess the first question that we have to ask ourselves is, because I don't know if everybody actually believes in this or not, do you guys believe in tipping?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, you said what, Jess?
When applicable.
What does that mean when applicable?
If the service was just completely terrible, like the server didn't come check on us to see if we needed drinks, didn't make sure we had silverware, they just had no care for us in the world, then that could affect whether I tip or not. Or if I do tip, it'll be a very low tip. But outside of that, I do believe in tipping.
Okay, so is there anybody that don't believe in tipping? All right, interesting. All right, so I guess the question is, why does black people get the reputation, considering that everybody up here actually believes in tipping? Why do black people get the reputation, specifically black women? A lot of times are the ones that I hear conversations about the most. Why do black people have the reputation of being bad tippers?
I think we need to separate this, right? I think we're looking at two different issues. I think we're looking at tipping, and then we're looking at how difficult, or the stereotype that black folks have when they go out to eat, right? Now, can I call a spade a spade? I love my people, but we can be very difficult when it comes to going out to eat, very specific, want things to be a certain way. But I've also seen on the flip side of that, when they are very particular, they do give a nice tip. But I've also seen when you've given exceptional service and then they don't tip. So I don't think that this is just limited to one issue, but I think we should break it up. And then is bad tipping just narrowed down to just black people? Because there's people of all different races who don't tip either.
I don't hear anything about anybody else not tipping, to be honest with you.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I used to work as a server at Papa Do's. I'm from Houston.
Oh, shout out to you.
Long time ago, I used to work. This is like in '97, showing my age. But I was a server at Papa Do's, and man, that was the first thing. Whenever you got a black table, they'd be like, "Uh-oh." So the stereotype been around a long time, and sometimes they surprise you, but a lot of times, man, I ain't gonna lie, it is true. Like, it's the bare minimum. Even one guy, he used to play baseball, right? No, he was a boxer, and everybody's like, man, I forgot the guy's name. But it's like, he was a boxer, and I'm just knowing he finna tip me good, because the black guy, I'm showing him love. It was good. We got conversation, man, and I swear at the end of the deal, boy left me $3.
Oh.
$3.
Okay, so Tariq, let me ask you a question as a person that's a former server. What would you consider the good tip from him in particular?
All right, so if your bill, you want at least 20% or more of your bill for a good tip. The dude bill was like $80 and he left me $3, bro. That's horrible.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, thank you. Because
So,
the
You know
minimum
what,
tip
though?
you expected as a waiter, it was $2.14 an hour plus tips. So even then, I was younger. I'm like, okay, I'm making at least $17 an hour because you at least gonna get $5 a table at Papados, right? They're gonna be there for about an hour each couple. You know what I'm saying? They'll be there about an hour you would expect, and you got 3 tables. So I'm make my little $2.14 an hour plus I'm gonna get at least $5 a table. That's $17 an hour. I was like, all right, cool. And a lot of times you get way more than that, but at minimum you're gonna get $5. Somebody leave you $3. Come
He
on,
was
man.
only $2 short then.
Man, that's horrible. You hugged me out.
You know what they'll say a lot of times too? I noticed this. They'll be like, well, I don't know. I don't need to tip them. Go get a better job. I'm not responsible for paying, because they'll be like, because they make such a low amount, So that's always the excuse. Because I used to be a cocktail waitress at the Penthouse Club, and of course, like I made a lot of money, but we all had that stigma, like when Black people come in, Black dudes, like it's they don't call Penthouse a strip club. They say it's a gentleman's club. And I understand the difference because we used to go like hang out at different clubs. But my point is, you would get some guys that would come in, and this was like in 2008, 2010. And that's when they were wearing like the big Lil Jon belts and the huge clothes, like the jabots and stuff. So when they would come in, which was very rare, because, in that club, we would like, in that gentleman's club, we would have like very well-to-do, they come in with a suit, everything. We get celebrities that come in there. But I would be very surprised, especially, this was the worst. You have a group of Black men. I remember they had, it was a rapper down here, and he used to rap with Lil Wayne. And so he came in with like his entourage, but then a bunch of, Black women that, were trying to get something off of them. They came in with them. Now they came in before, but with the women sitting there who were Black, the tips were just so short. Like they messed over my friend that was working there. Yeah. And then like a lot of times you would have, like, we called them our clients, not customers. You would have people that came in and they want their certain waitress, because that waitress knows what they want, what girls they want, stuff like that. My girl who always got them, I'm not going to say his name, but she was pissed. Like, she would usually make like $300-$400 after they left. And she left with like, they left with like $40 a tip or something like that, just because those women were there. So
because the woman that he wanted wasn't there.
No, because so they usually came in by themselves, right? It would be him, his manager, and 2 of his like homeboys, I guess. They would usually come in by themselves.
You said this is a particular rapper?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name.
No,
so cool. But yeah, so he would always, like, her name was Lauren. She would always make money off them. She was a cute little, like, she was a white chick, but she had like a nice body on her. So like he would be crushing on her and stuff like that, but nothing would happen. But he still always looked out for her. They came in this one particular time, and you could tell like they got these girls off bourbon. Like they just saw them because they were dressed differently than the girls were. They were dressed very rainbow-esque attire, just very cheap. And so they must have just pulled them off the street or whatever. They come in the club with them, and she didn't leave with anything but like $40 off that one table. And like when I was there, the tips were so good. Like if I just went home with like $300, that's a bad night.
So
like that's
so you're saying that men tip?
I would say this. The men would usually, I don't want to hold it up, but since you said it, it is kind of for real, man. When you had a table, especially when it's like women and their kids with no dude, man, you ain't finna get no tip, bro. That tip gonna be small change, bro.
If Okay.
You
If
already
anything, they're
know
gonna
it. They
try and
coming
cut off
in.
the
It's like,
bill.
we be right in the back. Oh, that's your table. There you go.
Yeah, like for real though. Like when I'm not gonna lie, they have some black guys. I would say majority of black guys tip. For
So
me,
okay, wait
I
a
was about
minute.
to say, I said,
it's the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay,
women.
go ahead,
yeah, most
Waffle.
definitely. Like, yeah, most definitely. Like, I think, us men, we gonna tip, you know what I mean?
Y'all gonna
Off the
tip.
win. But on that video, I had to step on something. Like, how can bruh say something? He said he be racist and you already black too, bro. So that didn't make sense on that
I think
video.
he's Hispanic.
I
I
thought he
think
was
he
just
was
mixed.
Hispanic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
Does
he
it
would
make
have
it any
said
less
that.
valid though? What do you say?
I mean, no, because we think he be prejudiced. It doesn't make,
Mhm.
but still, like me and Tip, I can speak. I know, bro, you went through your situation, bro. You know what I'm saying, in Houston, but maybe because you was a male, maybe he just want to pay you and all that. But normally, me, if it's some women, he gonna tip because he want to make sure he look good for the next time it coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, you right on that. But dude was one deep, $80. I'm like, oh, it's finna go down. And he left me $3. But usually the dude's gonna tip, man. But you already know when it's women getting in there and they don't got to do it with them, and especially if they got their kids with them, bro. Oh my goodness.
Right.
And the kids be bad as hell. I got a question.
So
Does
hold on.
anybody
Before you
Go
ask the question, do the women on the panel, when y'all go into a restaurant or something like that with other women, because I know that y'all expect, I'm assuming that the majority of y'all expect for the men to pay, unless y'all going 50-50, right? When y'all go into a restaurant, do y'all feel pressure? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you're stereotyped as unservable because people probably don't want to go to y'all table?
I don't.
I
No.
don't, because of the way I present, the way I speak, the way I look and everything. I hate to say this, but I don't think I look like that stereotypical chick that's of melanin tone wouldn't tip. Neither my friends either. Like it's usually a certain caricature of
It's a certain type of. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen families. I used to work at Denny's back in the day, so I've seen families come in and not tip, depending. I guess when you work in that type of atmosphere, like I worked for tips for a long time, so I had a different type of respect for it. I don't really feel. I didn't know that was a thing actually across the board. I knew it was a certain. I didn't think it was a black thing. Let me put it like that. I knew it was a certain type of character, behavior type thing, but also older people don't tip either. Like they tip
That
like
you ain't lying. My daddy to this day, he don't play. He be like, man, I'll be like, man, come on, man. I'm tipping. And my old man still be like, man, I ain't tipping. He don't
okay.
tip, bro.
they
Yeah.
tip like 50 cents. But I guess I give them grace because I assume most of them was on like a fixed income, you know. But they
Yeah.
tip like 50 cents. They tip like they back in the 50s and 30s and stuff. The
Man,
older.
So
Right.
y'all think that the stereotype is pretty much true then?
man,
Yes. Yeah.
I would have to agree a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
I
I
don't
do.
like
Yeah.
particularly going out with a large group of black women because I know
Right.
we're going to get stereotyped for not tipping. I
Yeah.
worked on and off 10 years waitressing and bartending. And out of everybody, black women are for sure the worst tippers and they want the most.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree.
That's true.
I think,
That's
I
true.
don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know why black women are so cheap. They'll even go to the club before a certain time to get in free, not bring any money, hoping somebody will buy them drinks.
And
So
I think
it's
that's a lot. Yeah.
not to
That's
even sound
that's
funny
the
about
main
it,
thing
but
right there. That's the main
No,
thing.
that's
They
mhm,
true. A
know that the
lot of the
men
people go
privilege
out
might come
and they
in.
don't have the money to do it too.
that's irksome.
Or
Because
like you
Yeah.
the
said, they
black
the
men though,
hardest to
I think black
satisfy.
men do, yes, and I think black men do tip. They're way better tippers than black women for sure.
Yeah.
Real talk.
They overtip. They overtip.
Yeah.
I
Oh
say
yeah. They're
that.
gonna do it to make sure y'all know. Okay. I
I
remember
don't
him from
think.
last time. They're gonna have their favorites. Yeah. They're gonna do that for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
No, for real.
And then men are more inclined to buy
He'll
things,
go broke
period.
tipping before he
Yeah, they'll buy
a black man will go
bottles, they'll
broke
buy
tipping
more
before he
things.
yeah he's gonna overdo
Yeah.
it.
hmm
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So should you be able to
I
buy
don't
if you can't afford the tip?
know.
Say that
No,
again.
I don't think so.
Should you be able to go out to eat if you can't afford the tip? Not everybody can
No.
afford the tip.
I
Should
mean,
that
that's
They
your
Just
shouldn't.
get
prerogative.
takeout.
Bob Evans?
Get takeout. Just get takeout. I think that's
I ain't
selfish.
gonna
You're gonna
lie.
have
I'm
something.
kind of torn on that.
Just
Cause
take off people
if I
want
wanted something and I just got enough, like if I was doing that, man, look here. If I wanted to try that out and my budget wasn't like talking about, shit, you might be out of there, little waitress.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Just get takeout.
Man, what if I wanted to
Just
go
get
to Papa
takeout.
Do's? What if I wanted to go to said restaurant, right? I've been saving my money. I'm like, man, I'm gonna try that out. But I ain't factoring in the tip. I factor in what I want.
You got to factor in the tip though. That's part of the budget.
You really do.
I feel
Really
you.
do.
I feel you. I'm just saying I can see both
Doesn't
ways
Papa
on that.
Do's? Don't they have takeout though? Like I don't
Wait,
see why
wait,
it's so
wait,
difficult
wait,
to just get takeout.
wait. I'm confused. So y'all would go and get the experience, but don't tip?
I done
You
seen
would
people
go,
do it.
see, y'all would go knowing that you're not gonna tip?
Man, I know plenty of people go knowing knowing damn well they ain't finna tip.
About you. We talking about
That
you.
does not make it right.
Nah, I ain't gonna do it because see, I used to be a waiter, so I know that's how they make their money. Ain't no way I would do it. I'm just saying, being objective, I could understand how people would be like, look here, I'm going to pay for the service. Because unless it's gratuity, you're not just obligated to tip certain times. All they want is their money. The restaurant want their money. Now, if you got a whole party of people, they factor it in anyway, but it's optional.
And let's be real now, that gratuity be kind of hitting a little bit now. The
There they do. They tell you up now.
meal was 110, gratuity made it 150. And they
But it's because of the people that won't tip.
Exactly. No, that's right.
Hold on. If the bill is 110, ain't no way in the world they're gonna make it 150 with the gratuity.
Man, brick tops.
That's not possible.
Man, the gratuity.
No, listen. The one thing
I
that I
didn't
was
seen
good
it.
at in school was math.
I didn't seen it.
It's not gonna go to 150 if it's
Yes, it can. It can.
Yes, it can.
It's usually 20% gratuity.
If they do 18% gratuity on 110, that's not 150.
Nah, it's not.
But then they tack
math,
on other
what kind of math they taught y'all? That's not 150.
I'm telling you, I didn't see that thing jump up there real quick. I said, all right.
It jump up, but the most they usually do on gratuity is 20%.
Well, here's the question then. Here's the question.
Yeah.
Why are y'all buying $110 worth of food?
I'm just for two people. What I'm talking about?
Neither one of y'all got a tip money.
Y'all are talking about going to the restaurant. Oh, y'all should have been at Wendy's.
Nah, for real. Hey, I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Better get them biggie bags.
Y'all need to go to Wendy's. Get you a Frosty.
Right.
A biggie bag.
I'm factoring in the tip every time I go.
Or
let's be real. If you go out to a date with your lady, 110 is not a lot for a
y'all
date.
need to go to Aldi and have y'all a cooking session together. We gonna cook together, cooking like Kaya. Y'all need to cook inside of the crib. What are y'all? Hold on, wait. Y'all going out with women with a certain amount of money?
Nah, I don't.
Crazy.
But I know people that do.
110 is not a hot date, though. 110 is not an expensive date, though.
But okay, so if 110 is not expensive, then why are you tripping off the tip?
I ain't tripping. I'm saying the gratuity may go up to like, you know what I'm saying? You say you ain't never seen it. I didn't see it go from 110 to 150. I didn't seen that. You know what I'm saying? Then I tip on top of that. I didn't seen that shit. For real. And be honest with you, let me be real. I hate to say that, but the time that I did see the gratuity was at a black-owned restaurant. They were supposed to be high-end. I ain't even lying to you.
Shit, the food trucks charging gratuity. Now you be like, damn.
Yeah, for real.
They let you put gratuity on takeout.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No
They
shit.
want you to tip on takeout.
Are y'all?
Yeah. You have
So
the tip
men and women are going outside with no money.
Ah, bro, women go outside with no money all the time.
We got money to eat,
Not
just
this
not to
one.
Why y'all do that? Why are y'all outside with no money?
Bro, out here in Houston, boy, they be out there broke as hell.
But if tipping is not obligated, why do we shun people who decide not to tip?
Because
that's why I say I can see the other side of it.
Let me explain it. It's not always necessary for you to dress up to go to a high-end restaurant. But it's like an unspoken thing, right? It's not always cool for you to go in somebody's house and wear your shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an unspoken thing. It's just cultural. Like, there are certain things, in my opinion, that is normalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody get it, everybody understand.